fruit looking a little strange. Come on, look at it.
No, just eat it.
No, please look at it first.
Let me see.
I said just eat it. I did good though. I chose this over the chips.
No, you're in the screen. Everybody see you in the class.
This cat got some.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
See?
No.
Okay, no.
I wouldn't do that. I think that's just supposed to be refrigerated anyway. What do it say on the labels?
I mean, it come off the shelf in the grocery store.
But the grocery store be cool, don't it?
Yeah, you know. It says best served chip, but does not require refrigeration. I don't know. These look a little. Okay, I'm gonna just have this.
All right, Shalom Israel, you live with the ISUPK. Priest and Captain Soccer War holding down the class live from Memphis. Most High Christ, that feels so good. Oh. Priest and Captain Soccer War holding down the class live from Memphis, man. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes here in Memphis, Tennessee. You brothers and sisters could like and share the class. Let everybody know we live. We're going to go ahead and get into it momentarily. Again, like and share the class live. Let everybody know. Like and share the class. Let everybody know we live. Give y'all 1 second before I go ahead and get started. All right. Shalom, Israel. You live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer War holding down the class live from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes in Memphis from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Since 1969, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge has been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2023, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to learn the truth of who they are, where they come from, and what their purpose is on the earth. So what we like to do with these classes is give brothers and sisters an opportunity to go into this book called the Bible, to gain the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Most High has placed therein in order for us to be able to come back to being the people that God called us to be and to reclaim our righteous place on the earth as kings, priests, princesses, and daughters of Zion. With that said, what I like to do with these classes is open them up for questions. Any brothers and sisters have any questions, all you have to do is type them in. online. If you have any questions in the classroom, raise your hand. If there are no questions tonight, we're gonna go ahead and get into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic for tonight's class is common decency is brotherhood. All right, common decency is brotherhood. Um, I think that something that may get lost on brothers and sisters, particularly because of the era that we're living in with society. There's a lot of cruelty that is in this world that we live in today. There's a lot of selfishness. There's a lot of a lack of empathy and a lack of compassion on people. And one of the major places where that is exhibited is on social media. I see so much cruelty and just unkindness on social media that is it's almost baffling. Some of the opinions and the thoughts that people share, some of the things, the stances that people take on different situations is just like, who are you? Where are you from? Who raised you? And what made you think that it was okay to open your mouth and share this thought that you had? Like a lot of what's on social media, it should just stay inside of people's heads. A lot of times people say to themselves, what was the world like before social media? What was it like before we had Facebook and Instagram and Twitter? People's dumbass opinions stayed to themselves. That's what the world was like. Nobody had to care what you thought because nobody asked you, my nigga. Who cares? And that's how I carry on with social media today. I didn't ask you for that thought or that opinion. I keep scrolling because you ain't talking to me. But too many people get caught up in some person's unkind opinion or their unthoughtful thought. And you waste your time and your energy pouring into somebody who really doesn't deserve to even be acknowledged. But the fact that we do live in a world where people are acknowledged and where everybody can share their thoughts and everybody has an opinion, you should recognize that someone who doesn't have common decency is someone who doesn't understand what it means to be a brother. And it takes time coming into the truth to learn how to have common decency. You understand? Um, there's a saying that the truth hurts, right? That the truth is a hard pill to swallow. And those things are very true. The truth does hurt. The truth is a very hard pill to swallow. But um, also, the truth isn't for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? And so, in this world that we live in, it should be expected that everybody is not going to be in the truth. Everybody is not going to accept the truth. Everybody is not going to receive the truth. But that doesn't mean you can't be decent to them. Like I believe that for all of us, if you're in the truth and if you read this Bible and if you understand the Lord and understand the culture that He gave to the children of Israel, the end goal of all of this is to transform the culture of the world and to make the world a reflection of what God wants it to be. How do we know what the Most High wants for this world to be? He gave us His law, statutes, and commandments. He gave us the instructions on how the world is supposed to be. And we as Israelites are supposed to live in that world that God gave us the format to create. And if we live in that world, we will be a living example to everyone outside of that world why this is the way they should live. And the only way that we're going to be able to change this world is if we are able to be the examples for everyone else that this is why you should live your life this way. If you're someone who was in the truth and you believe it's a badge of honor to be indecent or cruel or mean to people who are outside of the truth, then why would anyone outside of the truth ever want to be in here? Why would anybody outside of the truth think that this was the way to follow or this was the path that they should walk if all they see is everybody who's in here being mean and cruel and belittling to everybody who's outside of here? Like, where are you getting that from? Who taught you that? Where's that written? What class of the ISUPK have you heard that being pushed or promoted? That you should go and be cruel to everybody that's not in here. You should go and be an asshole or be, a mean to everyone who's who doesn't but believe what you believe, who doesn't know what you know. Anything you believe and anything you know because of what you learned in here, the Lord allowed you to be able to have the ears to hear it. You're not great and amazing because you heard the truth and understood it. They aren't horrible, disgusting people who deserve to be shitted on because they don't have the ears to hear it. Like the point of being able to hear and to learn the truth and understand it is to be able to live it and be an example to the people who can't hear it, who can't see it. Maybe they can't hear the truth or hear the Bible, but they can see, yeah, this cat, man, he a decent brother, man. Or this sister, yeah, she nice, man. Yeah, she cover her head, she wear them fringes. She says she don't celebrate no holidays, man, but she talk real nice, man, at the job, man. That's a sister, man. Anytime I'm going through something, man, she always look out, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was late a couple times. She covered for me, made sure the boss ain't give me a I don't know what happened on your job. They ain't give me a demotion or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that cat, man, I've been going through it, man. He came, talked to me, asked me what was going on. He checked on me, or who knows the situation or the circumstance. You can't win people over who are in the world putting yourself on a pedestal because you're in the truth. Right. The laws that God gave us and the way he taught us to be was to show everyone why living this way is the way that you should live. So, topic of tonight's class is common decency is brotherhood. And that's what we need more of in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. We need more common decency, more just caring about one another just cause. It doesn't hurt you to be kind, doesn't hurt you to be nice. It doesn't hurt you to, tell somebody the truth every once in a while. You don't have to always pull a scripture or pull a Bible verse. You just be decent. That's it. Everybody understands. So we're gonna get some scriptures to go into it. Of course, anybody got any questions, y'all just type them in. Anybody got any questions in the classroom, all you gotta do is raise your hand. All right. All right. So again, the topic of tonight's class is common decency is brotherhood. All right. Common decency is brotherhood. The first scripture we're gonna get is um no, hold on. Um, this is Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12, verse 16. All right. It's Romans chapter 12, verse 16. First scripture we're going to go to tonight. All right. Romans 12 and 16 says, be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Everybody understands this scripture goes against everything that I see on social media. On social media is just a ton of opinions and the thoughts. I seen this thing the other day. Everybody talking about it. Some list, some gay man came up with a list of places where you can't take women on a first date, right? And I said, I know a gay man wrote this list because gay men hate women, and gay men do not want women to be happy with men, and gay men don't want men to be happy with women because they want the men. So this list of places you can't take a woman on a first date is designed to make silly women think if a man takes me here on a first date, he's not a good man. Right. And it's also designed to make men who want to take women out think to themselves, if she doesn't like me taking her here, then she's not a decent woman. Or I'm trying to be as nice as I can. The list was written to make it impossible for a man to take a woman anywhere. That's the point of the list. The point of the list is a woman is never going to find a man who likes her and wants her because If I can't take you to any of these places, I'm just never taking a woman on a date. Which means no more dates, women. You like going on dates? These dates is over because of this list. I can't take you to the Cheesecake Factory. Was a nice place. Damn. I ain't even take my wife. I ain't take her to the Cheesecake Factory yet. I can't take a woman to the Cheesecake Factory, McDonald's burgers, chicken nuggets. We can't go shoot pool. We can't go bowling. We can't go to the gym. Like, okay, you're never going on a date. That's the point of the list, is to end all dates, right? And um for any okay, Salakia. It is a ridiculously impossible opinion, this list. And it comes out of nowhere. Because there's never a woman alive on the earth who was taken to a Cheesecake Factory on the first date that thought to herself, he taking me to the like that person does not exist. There's not a woman on the earth who was taken on a date to the gym and thought, ugh, why he taking me to the gym? And if there is a person out there, they lack common decency. Yeah. You're a woman, a man decides that he wants to show you that he desires your company and desires your affection. And for the first time, y'all getting to hang out, spend some time together. For the man to take you anywhere, he's extending himself to say, hey, let's have a good time. If you're unappreciative of that or can't accept that or view receive the kindness of that, you're not a decent person. And this opinion of someone who was undecent sharing this list has everybody arguing and debating in the comments, and it's like none of this is real life. None of this actually exists. It's just designed to put you at odds against one another and cause you to be butting heads, right? Romans chapter 12, verse 16 says, be of the same mind one toward another. What does that mean? We should all be looking to try and be decent towards one another. If a man is taking a woman out, be decent towards that woman. As a woman, if a man is taking you out, be decent to that man. As a brother, you encountering people in the world, be decent towards them. You should go through this world all the time saying, I am going to treat people the way that I want to be treated. That's what it means to be of one mind, be of the same mind one toward another. I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated. If all of us have the same mind toward one another, guess what? We'll always be decent to each other. We'll always be kind and cordial. We'll watch our language. We'll watch what we say out of our mouths. Why? Because we would want somebody to do the same to us. Be of the same mind one toward another. Be mind not high things, but condescend to men of low state. Don't talk over someone's head. Don't speak to someone in a way that makes you seem that you're better than them or you're above them. Again, going back to this list, if you are a woman who is too good for the Cheesecake Factory, then you should mind not high things. If you used to go in the Roof Chris Steakhouse, and I'm living in Memphis, Tennessee, what's that place called that the rapper opened up with all the high price steaks? Oh, you talking about Money Bag? Yeah, it's called Club 42 or something. Some steak spot here everybody want to go to. If you're somebody who's used to living on a 6-figure level, keep your list of unacceptable places to your goddamn self. Because you minding high things, putting that on the internet is causing people who are living in a lower state to feel like they have to try and match the level that you're on. Don't be somebody who gloats and rubs it in somebody's face that you're on a level above them or that you're able to do better than them. Bring yourself down to the level of people who are the common person, people who are at the bottom, the people who are living regular. You understand? Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Sister Shawwa.
Like I was just gonna say that social media has it really bad doing it. The TikTok girls, they absolutely live a high lifestyle, and you should do this and we only do that. With like they are definitely the ones that be like, oh no, we don't go to this restaurant on the first day. Like they are pushing it out and making these girls think that no, we cannot accept this when it's normal stuff.
And that is
and they're just portraying it because I know y'all not really living this life.
And that is the problem with, again, these people should not be listened to.
Yeah.
They should not have a voice. They shouldn't be anybody's paying attention to. But because of social media, everybody has a voice. Mm-hmm. And this goes to show you what the Bible says is right in that our people are sheep looking for a shepherd. Right. We need leaders. We need somebody to guide us and to show us the way that we're supposed to walk, to set standards for us, and to establish what is a baseline of what we should accept and what we shouldn't accept. But the makeup lady on TikTok should not be that person. The guy who makes a list of unacceptable first date places on Facebook should not be who your shepherd is. Like, we living in a time now where I understand why Christ wept. Christ wept because he saw his people and they had no shepherd. They were lost. Well, that's us in 2023 because we're following any and everything. Yes. And that is how our oppressor has designed it, to keep us not having the same mind one toward another. Again, even if you are a TikTok woman making $100,000 a year, why can't a man take you to anywhere? Excuse me. If he wants to take you out, you should be now. Okay, this is a woman who is accepting the invitation to go out. Right. If she had a man, or if she was better than, or she's too busy, or better than this guy, she would just say, "No, thank you. I don't want to go out." This is a woman who absolutely is looking for a job, and a man is offering her a job, and to go out on a date is the interview for the job. Right. She's unemployed, and a man is saying, "Hey, I got a spot open for you in my life. Would you like to go on an interview? Would you like to go on a date?" And she's saying, "Oh, yes, thank you. What time is the interview?" And she's getting ready for the interview. She's getting dressed. She's fixing her hair, her makeup, and putting her dress on. And you have the nerve to be picky about where I choose to interview you for this job opening I have? What world are you living in? What planet are you on? That isn't how this works. It's a completely made up situation. And people are following that. Like, the Bible says, mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. You understand? Come on with it.
Oh, I said one more thing. And it was a lady on TikTok that refused to go on the dates to the Cheesecake Factory. Mm-hmm. That's how this all started. And the guy was like, well, fine, I'll just take you home. Then she's like, well, why are you going to take me home? You could just take me somewhere else. And he was like, no, this is where I was bringing you.
That's real life. Real life is, I'm interviewing you for a job. The job interview is at the Cheesecake Factory. You don't want to go? I'll take you back home. No, this is not negotiable. Yes. That's the real world. The real world is, this ain't no negotiation. This ain't no what? We're not bargaining. This is what it is. And you just played yourself. Yep. I'm dropping you back off. Go take your makeup off and your lashes and your wig and undress out of that outfit because it's over with now. That's the real world. Yeah. People are not living in the real world. People are living in a fantasy land, and it's because they're in a fantasy land, they think that they cannot be decent, right, and there's no consequences. There's absolutely consequences for not being decent. Right. All right? Be not wise in your own conceits. Just because you have a thought or an opinion on something doesn't mean you have to share it. Why? Because your thoughts and opinions could be unkind to others. It could be indecent. And again, the truth is the truth. But if you're sharing an opinion or a thought that ain't the truth, then you should be careful of causing an offense. Because your thought on something or your opinion could cause someone who knows the facts about your opinion to be at odds with you. Everybody understand? Verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. You understand? Don't be petty. Don't be trying to get somebody back. That is a feminine thing to do. It is known in this life that women have certain traits and characteristics that make them the weaker vessel. It's natural. It's in them to be the weaker vessel. As a man, you have to ascend above the pettiness of a woman. Women are given leeway to be petty because it is a man's job to check her when she's out of line. But as a man, you can't fight a woman's pettiness with your own brand of petty. It's beneath you as a man. And that is a lot of what I see going on social media and in the world. A lot of just petty, passive aggressive, you know, almost teasing. And it's disgusting. Provide things honest in the sight of all men, man. That's what the Lord called you to do. Be honest in all of your dealings, man. Don't have ulterior motives and, just be real. Keep it 100. If it be possible, verse 12, if it be possible, as much as lies in you, live peaceably with all men. If it's possible, man, as much as you're able to, live peaceably with all men. Everything that you do, everything that you say, you should do it the goal being to keep the peace. The goal being to just be decent. Everybody understands. Now, of course, I'm not talking about somebody that you're battling, somebody that you're, trying to smash with the truth. I ain't talking about a battle that you're in. This is just common decency. Everybody understands. Just treating someone the way that you want to be treated. Having empathy. Empathy is something that's lost on the time that we're in now. Trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understanding things from their perspective. You understand? Now, of course, when it comes to the truth, the word of the Lord, you don't have to do that. But when it comes to just day-to-day interactions with people, just be decent. Be a brother. Everybody understands? Let's drop that. Let me get about this time that we're living in. Let's see some. Get 2 Timothy chapter 3. All right. I'm not going to break all of these down, but I'm going to read this to show you that the Bible prophesied the coming of a time when people would not be decent. And that is the time that we're living in now, all right? 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 says, this know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Hold on. 2 Timothy 3 and 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but then, remember, stop right there. Let me stop at the end of verse 4. This is the time that we're living in. This is what you're seeing on social media. This is who you are encountering out here in the world. This is the makeup of people in the modern society. You understand? Read it one more time. 2 Timothy 3:2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Everybody you're encountering in this world, they think that the world revolves around them. They don't consider other people. They don't think about how someone else may feel or what someone else goes through or the life that someone else lives. All they think about is themselves and how they think and how they see the world and what they can get out of a situation, never considering the effect or the impact that their actions has on someone else.
Right.
Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. That's the woman who doesn't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory. Unthankful. You're an unthankful person. You just Verse 3, without natural affection. Natural affection is you meet somebody and you like them and you get to know them and you see if you're compatible. There are people absolutely who don't even think about the person. How much money do you make? What's your credit score? Where you taking me to? Cheesecake Factory? Oh no, boo boo, that ain't. That's someone with an unnatural affection. Like we are absolutely living in the time that the Bible warned us about. And the way that you have to navigate through this world and through dealing with these types of people is to be someone who remains decent. Doesn't cost you a thing. You don't have to pay anybody. You don't have to go to another, you don't have to leave the city you're in or go to another country in order to be decent. You can just be decent to people. If they're, so what they're not decent? So what they're all the things that we're reading described here? That doesn't mean you have to be that. And if you're not careful, if you're not man enough, you'll be petty like the people in the world are petty. You don't want to fire back at the people in the world the way that they are firing off. And it's a shame. It's a horrible thing to be in the truth and to be like the people in the world in terms of being petty, in terms of rubbing it in someone's face. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And it's weak. It's weak. You understand? Reading on. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4. 2 Timothy 3:3. Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. There are people in this world who are despisers of those that are good. Every day in my slavery, I'm constantly having conversations and battles with men over why they should not have sex with another man's woman. And I've been away from people in the world for so long, right? And I've been in the truth that when I talk about how disgusting and gross and half a homosexual it is for a man to know a woman has a man. Now you know this woman got a man. You see him with her, they holding hands and kissing. You know they having sex. And as soon as she's not around that man, you all in her face laughing and giggling and smiling, hoping that maybe she gonna open the door to give you a chance to have sex with her. And you know she's still with that guy. It's gross to me. It's absolutely disgusting. But these cats I work with think I'm absolutely insane. And they not insane because of my stance, but insane because how dare you be so honorable? It's almost as though like it ain't even about they think it's weird that I think it's gross to have sex with another man's woman. Because they think it's kind of gross too. When I get to talking about it, they kind of be like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm saying no. She wanna do it. They're not mad that I think it's gross. They're mad that I think it's beneath me. It's almost like a why are you so honorable? Why are you so dignified? What make you think that you above another man's woman? And it's like Don't you hear what you're saying, brother? You asking me why do I think that I'm better than settling for having sex with another man's woman? And it's like, yeah, you really mad because I'm better than this. It's just like the audacity of me to think that I'm above having sex with another man's woman when it's like, why don't you think you're above it? That's what this scripture here is talking about. Reading on in 2 Timothy 3:3. You understand? Without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, and lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. People don't want to see that there's a right way to do things. They don't want to see that there's a way to live life that is better than what it is they have allowed themselves to settle for. They would rather continue loving the things that makes them feel good than loving God. And a lot of the times people in the world, the only reference they have for love is how they feel. Like if it don't make them feel good, it couldn't be love.
Right.
When none of the things in this world that make you feel good ever last or ever bring you any satisfaction. The only things that make you feel good in this world are temporary pleasures for your flesh. Everybody understands. But we live in a time where people have settled for pleasuring themselves rather than living a life that pleases God. Everybody understands. Now, verse 5 gets into these influencers and the social media and the impact that these evil people that we're reading about have on the rest of the world, the rest of society. All right. We're in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5 now. All right. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. What does it mean that these people that we're reading about have a form of godliness, but deny the power thereof? What is that talking about? Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Sister Kapat is up.
Do they mean like if I know if I know like take me for example, if I know somebody not if I'm looking at something but I don't tell them what's right, like the right way, like as far as following the law.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know you shouldn't be doing this or you shouldn't be doing what I'm seeing you do, and
Mhm.
I don't use my power knowing the law, knowing right. So like sorry, but I can't even use that.
Nope, no sweat. Shakai.
Is it like black and Hispanic people going to other religions like Christianity? They have a sense of they have the Bible, but they don't believe in the God of their Bible.
Okay, how is that having a form of godliness?
Because in some way they follow what they want to in the Bible.
Okay, what is godliness?
Is it following the commandments?
No, that's not godliness. Anybody? What is God? So, in order to understand that these people we read about, these evil people, right? They have a form of godliness, but they deny the power. They deny the power of that godliness. What does it mean to be? What is godliness? Shakai. I'm a shower bar.
Is it like a power?
Yes, godliness is power. It's authority. It's influence.
Yeah.
These people on the internet, they have a form of godliness. They literally are called influencers.
Yeah.
What does an influencer do? Get someone else to follow them. Get someone else to get on their program. What did the Most High in his godliness, what did he do? He gave us a blueprint, gave us a path to walk. He gave us rules and standards. What are they doing on the internet? What are they doing on social media? They got new rules and New, the again, going back to this damn places you can't take a woman on the first date. The the preposterousness of a woman. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of it. Like I said, that list was written by a gay man. It's designed to make an impossible situation for men and women so that they will get frustrated with one another, and men will stop dating women and start dating men, and women will just be alone. Everybody understand? If you are a woman and you are unemployed, meaning you don't have a man, and there's a man trying to hire you, meaning let you be his woman, and he decides to take you on an interview, which is a date, you should be happy that you're being taken on an interview. You should shut the hell up and just, wherever the interview is, go and perform your best if you want the job. If you don't want the job, no sweat, do your thing. But for a woman to tell a man, these are the places you cannot take me on the first date, for any decent man, you'll never be taken on the first date. Everybody understands? That came from an influence on social media. These people have a form of godliness but deny the power thereof. They act as though, I didn't tell them to do that. I didn't make anybody do anything. When you're literally being paid by the system to be someone who tells people exactly what they should do. It's why you have a following. It's why you draw attention from people, because you're literally a leader. You're literally someone in a position of influence, of power. That's power. Everybody understands? These evil people in this generation have a form of godliness, but deny the power thereof. Everybody understand? From such, turn away. You know what you should do? Turn off social media. Get off TikTok. Stop listening to these dumb bitches because they don't know what they're talking about. Stop listening to these gay men because they don't know what they're talking about. There's a gay men show. It's good women on there, but it's gay men, and it's called the Conversation, or Tonight's Conversation, or whatever that is. Those men are gay. The men on there are gay. I'm telling you right now. They may have sex with women, but they are gay men. And they spout their opinions and their thoughts about relationships, and it's obvious that none of them know what they're talking about. You should stay away from them. You should run away. Don't listen. Don't engage in a conversation. And that's what's wrong with. It's sad that as brothers and sisters in 2023, black men and black women, we still can't see that there is a systematic effort to cause us to hate one another. Right. I have never seen an Asian dating show. Never seen a German people meet website. I'm like, only black men and black women have relationship platforms. Have you ever heard a white man talking about relationships or dating or how to find a good woman? I've never heard it because it doesn't exist. You want to know why? White men go out in the world and meet women and talk to them and establish a relationship. That's what happens in the real world. Black people, we're not living in the real world. We're living in social media. We're living on dating apps and on these profiles, and that is not the real world. You should get off of there and leave that place alone and actually go meet some people. And if you live in the real world and you go and meet people in the real world, you'll know someone who's actually living in the real world and someone who's just saying what they heard on the internet. Yeah. I've had conversations with women and I'm saying, who told you that? Where did you get that from? Why did you say that just now? What did you think the response was going to be to you saying that? And 99% of the times, I don't know. I didn't get it from anywhere. But you didn't think that. Somebody, you don't even know where that thought came. Like, don't ever do that to me. Don't ever say something you heard somebody else say because you think what you thought. But you thought that sounded cool or something. Like, you'll easily spot somebody that's not living in the real world, and then common decency will dictate that you tell them the truth about themselves. and about what they're saying and how they're living and how they're presenting themselves and how that is unacceptable. And this is over. Take care of yourself, enjoy, but you got to stop living in this fantasy world. Everybody understands. But the men are also living in a fantasy world. So when they encounter these women who also are living in the fantasy world, they aren't able to tell them the real. They aren't able to be honest with them and tell them what they need to hear. Brothers, you have to stop living in fantasy land, and you have to stop entertaining women who live in fantasy land. Everybody understands? And that the common decency dictates that you'll be honest with them. You won't be high-minded. You'll condescend to men of low estate, and you'll explain to them in very plain English, bitch, you out of your goddamn mind. Don't you ever say nothing like that to a real nigga ever again in your life. Are you crazy? You gotta be crazy. You're insane. That's not acceptable. Everybody understands. Keep reading in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 6 now. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever knowing and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. That's you people on TikTok all day. You're being led away captive, laden with lusts and sins because you're silly and you're always learning something new, always gaining some knowledge, but you don't know the truth. You don't know what's real because all you're doing is being influenced by people who are full of all the lust and the evil and the sin that the Lord warned us about. Everybody understands? Like that is what is the world, that is the reality of the world that we're living in. These people who are on the internet are not real people. You understand? What they are promoting, what they are selling to you, the thing that you like about them is not real. It's not honest, it's not genuine. It's a program that they're running on you to confuse you and to take away from you common decency. Everybody understands? Like there's a saying out there that hurt people, right? And it's true in the sense that people who have not healed from being hurt are only looking to hurt someone else. It's like once you become a victim of something, you say to yourself, I'm not going to be a victim again.
Right.
But rather than actually not being a victim, all you do is now become the victimizer. And that comes from living in a world where people don't care enough about the next person to say, I know it happened to me, but I'm not going to do it to someone else. Because I know how it feels, I won't do it to someone else. Because I know how it feels, I'm going to make sure that I put an end to the type of hurt that I experience. That's what's righteous. That's what's common decency. That's what the scriptures tells us. But people out here in the world, they aren't living like that. Everybody understands? Which is why they need this truth, which is why they need the brotherhood, which is why they need this knowledge and this wisdom that was given to us by God. Everybody understands? Let me get hold up. Um that goes what I just said though takes us back to the first scripture I pulled, um, which is Romans chapter 12, verse 17, where it says, recompense to no man evil for evil. That's that getting back at somebody, or that tit for tat, that somebody was being petty to me, so I'm gonna be petty back, or you picking at me, so I'm gonna pick at you. That's feminine. That ain't manly. It's not masculine. It's not righteous to recompense evil for evil. Why shouldn't you pay somebody back for some wrong they did to you? What is the commonly decent thing to do to somebody who wronged you? Somebody did something wrong to you, somebody hurt you, somebody, trespassed against you or violated you. What does the Bible tell us we're supposed to do? Kapatazam. Gotta go to them. You gotta tell them what they did was wrong. Let's get Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. This is how you commonly, this is the common decent thing to do, commonly decent thing to do when somebody does something wrong to you. When somebody makes you feel some kind of way or somebody crosses you. You shouldn't hold it in and be like, yeah, man, fuck that bitch. I got something for her ass. I'm going to show that hoe. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, God forbid you a man and you're angry about something your woman did. And so rather than you check your woman or talk to her, you just going to get back at her. I mean, I don't know where that's cause. Where you get that from? I'm going to show her. I got something for her. I mean, that's weak. And you should not be that way as a man, period. In the truth, in the world, whatever. You should not be trying to get a woman back. Everybody understands? Here's rather what you should do if somebody does something to you that hurts you or that pains you or that causes you to feel some kind of way. Everybody understands? Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17 says, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart." Everybody understands? You should not be in your mind angry with somebody, in your mind hating somebody, in your mind saying to yourself, F them, fuck them, they ain't shit, this and this and that and that. That is not how God wants you to be. We cannot have a society. We can't have a community. We can't have a family. A man and a woman can't have a relationship if when something happens that you don't like, you keep it to yourself and say, F them. Or they gonna get theirs, or God will deal with them. The Lord gonna deal with them. That is goofy and childish and immature, and we all need to grow up because God wants better from us. Everybody understand? Somebody does something that makes you feel some kind of way, even if it's a little some kind of way. Here's how you should handle it. Verse 19, Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. No one has ever done anything wrong to you if you never told them that they were wrong for what they did. I don't care what they did. I don't care if who cares what it is? They ain't did nothing to you if you didn't go tell them that what they did was wrong. Kapatazar.
Like you said, this is all in line with what you were saying about you have the power. Basically, I got the power to go and tell this sister or this brother that they offended me, but I'm not using it.
That goes exactly with that. Okay. You have God has given us all the authority, right? The power to tell someone what you did was wrong. You hurt me. That was messed up. You understand? Tell somebody. We live in a world now, and I personally know of this. People at my slavery, a man and a woman meet at the slavery. They cool, getting to know each other. They laughing, joking, flirting, whatever. They have sex with each other. The girl starts to get clingy at work, and she's trying to be in a relationship, but this guy's like, I just wanted to have sex with you. Rather than deal with this girl and let her know what the situation is, he'll block her on social media. He'll block her on the phone. He'll come to work and act like she doesn't even exist. Won't talk to her, won't say nothing. Leaving her with no option but to just accept that she's been rejected. The man don't even have a decency to have a conversation with her. Won't tell her what she did was wrong. Won't just say to her, hey, I'm a piece of shit. And I really just wanted to have sex with you. And now I don't want to talk to you no more. He won't do none of the decent things. They call it ghosting. I mean, that's an evil, horrible thing to do to somebody. Because, I mean, the emptiness that you leave in that person who liked you enough to have sex with you. And they see you every day at work. And you're just acting like they don't exist. Now, woman, go talk to him. Go ask him, hey, what happened? What did you like? Why did you do that? You hurt me when you did that. These women, they don't, They can't be I ain't no soft. I ain't no hoe. I ain't weak. F him. And it's like that is you. It's the. I mean, I see the worst kind of pains on these people because all of that fu and I don't care is like you really just want to cry right now.
Yeah.
Like right now, we live in a world where fu. I'm moving like that's the new tears. People don't even cry no more. People just say fu. F them. I'm over this. I don't care. It don't matter to me. I didn't give a damn no way. That's the new crying that people do. When really if you should go and tell somebody, tell the person who hurt you what they did, how it made you feel. Even if they ignore you, even if they say I don't care, get away from me, or at least you let them know. That's what God requires of you. Somebody hurts you, you have to go and you let them know. Tell them. And then what they decide to do with it, that's on them. But you're going to carry that pain forever if you don't let them know what they did. Everybody understand? Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. Everybody understand? We cannot have love for one another. We cannot get past, we cannot stop bearing grudges and avenging ourselves if we never tell the people who have hurt us what they did in the first place. Everybody understand? And that is a very core part of being a decent person. It's communication. You got to be able to talk to somebody. You got to be able to let them know. And if you don't let them know, then the inner turmoil that you face is your fault. You're going to suffer silently and suffer miserably, and nobody will even know.
Yeah.
It'll just be jokers on you. That's what you get. You didn't tell them. You didn't let it be known. Yes, that's what you get. Everybody understands. Social media tell you. Go look up on social media and see what they say about ghosting and getting ghosted, and what the world tells you. You know how to. They say that's just the way it is nowadays. That's just you got to accept it. That's just what it is. Damn that. Everybody understand. It is. It is the most. I mean, that's ghosting is one of the evilest, self-deprecating things you could do to somebody. To just never even have the, because really the person that does the ghosting is avoiding a conversation.
Right.
They're avoiding a talk. They're avoiding dealing with the vulnerability of the person who they have violated. Everybody understands, and that's extremely. Somebody that'll go somebody a murder. They'll steal from you and then help you look for what they stole. They'll murder your brother and then be at the funeral crying with you. Like that's an evil ass. That's a super deep level of wickedness. Everybody understands. Drop that. Let me get uh hold on. Let me get let's get Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians 5. Hold on. Let's get let's get Ephesians 5 and Get Ephesians 5:28. All right. All right. I really could start at verse uh, 21 on down, but I don't want to get too bogged down in this particular relationship. Everybody understands? All of really this what we're about to read can extend beyond just a husband and a wife. Everybody understands? But particularly for a husband and a wife, this is important. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 28 says, "So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself." Everybody understands? It's for all you brothers out there who are husbands or desire to be husbands. Everybody understands? The Bible says to love your wife as you love your own body. What does that mean? As a husband, you have to see things from your wife's perspective. You have to put yourself in your woman's shoes and say to yourself, I'm expecting her to accept this, to handle this, to love me in spite of this. Would you do it for her? Could you handle it? You don't have to. We know you don't have to. But could you bear the burden you're putting on your woman? And if the answer to that is no, then brother, fix yourself. Why? It's already enough that a woman has to bear the burden of being a woman. She bleed once a month. She's, uh, hormones is up and down. She's in the same captivity and hell that you are in as a man. You understand? She has all these duties and responsibilities, of which catering and caring for you is included. I mean, and then on top of that, you're gonna have more than you have two of her, three of her, three women. Well, then how are you handling all of those things to make it worth her while? How are you living your life to make sure that she wakes up every day and goes to bed every night comforted that she has a husband?
Right.
That's what the Bible's requiring you to do as a man. This isn't a suggestion. This is a command from God to love your wives as you love yourself. So the things that you put her through or the things she has to go through, imagine if it was you in that position.
Right.
Everybody understands? You have to have empathy in order to be a husband. You have to be able to understand that she's weak sometimes and she's vulnerable and she's frail. I know you want her to be a soldier because you're a soldier, but she's not you. She's just a girl, a grown girl with a body and that body she got to make you think she's something different. You understand? That bedroom, see what you needed to be, but outside of that bedroom, brother, she's a girl. And she just needs a daddy to love her and care for her and to comfort her and to say, baby girl's going to be okay. Well, some of us know what it's like to have a father who's neglectful and a father who isn't attentive and a father who isn't caring and compassionate. Brother, don't be that kind of father to your woman. Don't treat her that way. She deserves better than that, especially if she's weathered through the storm of life in the world and she decides to, live her life righteously and stand by your side. I mean, love her as you love your own body. Everybody understands? He that loveth his wife loves himself. You want to know how? A lot of brothers, you don't love yourself. And the evidence that you don't love yourself is reflected in how you treat your woman, how you love your woman. Love is not a feeling or an emotion. Love is an action. A lot of you brothers, you do not love yourself. I know it because of how you don't love your woman. Everybody understand? Verse 28, 29. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh. Here's what I do know about you brothers. You don't hate your own flesh. You don't hate your body. I've never known a man that cut himself. Right? I've never known a man that burnt cigarettes into his own skin. I've never known a man to, inflict pain on himself. So then why would you do it to your woman? You'll do what's best for you in every situation. You brothers, you do what's best for you in every situation. You look out for yourself. You make sure you straight. Why wouldn't you do that for your woman? Why wouldn't you look out for what's best for her? Why wouldn't you make sure that she's straight in every situation? Why wouldn't you make sure that she's covered? I mean, that's the least thing that the Lord is asking you to do. You understand? Ephesians 5:29. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, even as the Lord, the church. The same way the Most High looks out for us, being the brothers and sisters who serve him. That's how you look out for your own body. You nourish and cherish yourself. Well, why don't you do it for your wife? Why don't you do it for the people who look to you for leadership and for guidance and for comfort and for love and for affection and for all the things a man's supposed to provide? You're exactly what First John the third chapter describes. 2 John the third chapter describe. You're a lover of yourself. You love your pleasures more than you love God. You're a traitor. You're high-minded. You're heady. You're all the things that the Lord said a man is not supposed to be. How do we know? Because you love yourself and you don't love your woman. You love yourself and you don't love your children. Everybody understands. And again, love is not how you feel. I don't care if you like the woman or not. You chose her. That's your woman. You got to deal with it. I don't care if it's 5 years later and her body ain't the same and she may have gained weight and she ain't happy like she used to be all the time. Well, guess what, man? You better figure that thing out. You better find out what you need to do or brainstorm some things to try and get to where the unhappiness lies. But you just throwing your hands up and saying, oh, well, she ain't what she used to be. I can't none. You don't love yourself. Everybody understand? Ephesians 5:30. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. That's why the Most High loves the church, because we're not just brothers and sisters in the truth. We're members of his body. We're his fingers and his toes and his knees and his elbows. We're part of the body of God. Everybody understands? You're a man, you have sex with a woman. That woman ain't just somebody you had sex with. Ain't just somebody you took to Pound Town. That's your woman. That's your love. And if you don't view a woman that way, don't take her to Pound Town. Again, I argue with brothers at this slavery about these women they having sex with who they know have men at home. And it's gross and disgusting to me. It's the most nasty thing. But they are absolutely having sex with these women who they know have men at home and acting like it doesn't mean anything to them. And it absolutely means something to you. Because if this woman meant nothing to you, you would not have sex with her. Again, we're living in a world where people aren't living in the real world, right? They're living in this fantasy land. There are a lot of men that live in a fantasy world where they can have sex with a woman and it means nothing. You're lying. It's make-believe that you're a person who has sex with someone and it means nothing. That does not exist on the earth. Everybody understands? What does exist is you're someone who's been hurt, who's been broken. So the people you have sex with, you force yourself to not feel anything. You force yourself to say, I ain't care. It was just some penis. Or you're a man and say, yeah, it was just some vagina, man. Yeah, I just got some head or whatever you say. You are lying to yourself and pretending to the world that you're somebody who has sex with no strings attached. That doesn't exist. There are strings attached. You really like them. You really want to love them. You really wish that they were somebody who you could really be with. But they're a piece of garbage. And so are you. And so because they're a piece of garbage and because you're a piece of garbage, surely I can't convince myself that this piece of garbage is, someone I can trust or someone I can really care for, or someone I can really love. So I'll just take the sex we had and I'll block away all my feelings and my emotions and I'll pretend like I don't care and it doesn't matter. When you hate yourself, that is the only reason why you do that. You hate yourself. If you're a brother or sister in the truth, why would you choose to continue to live like that? You got the wisdom and the knowledge of God and you still continue to have sex with women who are pieces of shit? You have sex with a woman and 2 years later you're tired of her. You don't want to deal with her anymore. You don't like the way she talks to you. Nigga, why don't you figure that out? Why don't you solve that problem? She's just a girl. Maybe she's being difficult because she wants you to punish her and make her be obedient. She wants you to make her get in line. And you don't have to punch her or hit her or do it. You just got to be a man. Why don't you just be a man? Do it for yourself. Do it because you love yourself. I got a woman that's a problem. But listen, I don't know how you think we're going to take the kingdom of heaven if you can't deal with a woman who's a problem. The woman is a problem, Mark. You better solve your problem. I thank the Most High for commanding General Yohana and for General Muhammad. I thank the Lord for General Muhammad getting to a place in my life when he would not answer my calls no more. General Muhammad said, "You on your own, Mark. You better figure that out. Don't call my phone no more. You better not call nobody's phone. Let me find out you called somebody's phone about this woman again." And then guess what I had to do? I could not call the phone no more. So guess what? There's no more lifelines. There's no more phone a friend. It's me in this house with this woman who's a problem, and I'm either going to lose to this problem or I'm going to solve it. I learned how to solve the problem, which is why now, as the man that I am now, I have zero sympathy for a man who can't deal with a woman. There's no emotion, no care, oh, brother, serious, she did what? Oh, man, she said what? Oh, brother, I can't, but nigga, you better figure that out. Right. You mean to tell me a girl is ruining your life? A girl is what, keeping you up at night? A girl is making your life difficult? Have you tried having sex with her? Hey, no. Did you try having sex with her? Did you try going over there and just having sex with? Okay, so you tried to have sex with her and she was angry with you. She told you no, and you just stopped. Did you try to kiss her? Did you go over there with flowers? Did you bring flowers over there? No, you didn't bring flowers. Did you play some the Dream music? Did you play some R. Kelly or some Usher? You didn't play no Usher. Did you put on some Isley Brothers? Did you send her a text with, one of the song that you first made love to? Brother, you didn't try any of that? Oh, no wonder she didn't want to have sex with you. This is what you got to do, brother. You got to try and get her to have sex with you like you did the first time, because that's what she's looking for. That's why she's angry and miserable all the time. That's why she's constantly giving you problems, because you're not having sex with her like you did in the beginning. You're having lazy, casual sex now. You're having, it was a long day of work and my back is hurting sex. She doesn't need that kind of sex. She needs, I just met you and I'm trying to impress you sex. So, brother, you need to do whatever you got to do to find out where that guy is and bring him back to life so that she can meet him, because that's who she really fell in love with. You're, lazy sex after work guy. Nobody wants that nigga. I'm sorry. You got to get it together, brother. Love your woman as you love yourself. Listen, I remember being young in the world and men talking about how women changed once they get married. Man, you get married, you put a ring on her finger, man, the sex slow down and she don't do this and don't do that. And I remember saying to myself, I'd never get me a bitch like that. I wish a woman would try to change up on me with the sex in the bedroom. Well, guess what? You grow up and you become a man, and in some cases, it ain't the woman that stopped, it's you. Brother, you got to get in the gym, get to working out, lifting some weights, go to the gas station, get some of that honey, do whatever you got to do to be the man that woman needs you to be. You can solve the problems, you just gotta You gotta love. You gotta have common decency. Common decency dictates that if you're in a relationship with a woman, you'll find a way to make it work.
Right.
You'll find a way to deal with it. You'll block out all the noise and all of the attitude and the whining she do. You'll find a way to put her back in her place because she's just a little girl throwing a grown-up temper tantrum. You got to find a way to solve it. Salakia, y'all. Ephesians 5:30. For we are members of his body and his flesh and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is the nature of things. You get with that woman, you are one flesh, which means what? Whatever you would not do to your own body, you cannot do it to your woman.
Right.
The same way you would consider your own body, you have to consider your woman. I'm recently recovered from knee surgery, and I had to learn that there's certain things that I can and I can't do on this knee. I'm careful with my body to make sure I don't put myself in places that's going to damage or, cause me to have to lean on this knee too much.
Yeah.
Well, you have to think of your woman the same way. Your woman is like a part of you that is weaker, a part of you that is not as strong, a part of you that can't handle all of the weight and the pressure that you can handle. So guess what? As a man, don't put her through that. It's in your power. Listen, your brother got a woman, you go get another woman. That woman better not ever cause any problems or any issues for you and your woman. And if it happens, brother, that is your fault. Sure, you can't control anybody. You can't make a woman behave or do this and that, but you can mitigate the impact that one person that is your responsibility has on another person that is your responsibility. Brother, if you ain't ready for that level of responsibility and work, then you should not try to have another woman. Just be happy and satisfied with the one that the Lord has blessed you with. Everybody understand? But if you decide to take on that work, then don't call the phones of the men who told you not to do it or that warned you of how hard it's going to be. Because ain't nobody going to feel bad for you. Ain't nobody going to feel sorry. Ain't nobody going to say, well, they did what? And then she called who? She had screenshots. Oh, brother, that's not the response you're going to get. Everybody understand? You sisters out there, you want to marry a brother who you know has a woman and you know he loves that woman and she caters to him and she does this and does that. You come into that relationship with that man, you better know your place. You better respect that man, respect his, whatever he got going on in his life. And if it ever becomes an issue or a problem for you, you better go to that man between you and him alone and deal with it, because that is the common, decent thing to do. Everybody understands? Ephesians 5:32. I'm gonna read Ephesians 5 and I'm gonna read Ephesians 5:28 down again, because this last verse 32 is important. All right, Ephesians 5:28. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loves his wife loves himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourished and cherished it, even as the Most High, the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Everybody understands? What Paul is saying is the same way that we are joined to Christ in his body because of the sacrifice we all have made to live our lives like him. We've joined ourselves to Christ because of what? Because we've all made the same agreements. We're like-minded one toward another. We're all going to suffer and endure and do whatever it takes to obey the Lord, right? That makes us one. That makes us one flesh. And Christ loves us because we are a part of him. That is how a man's supposed to love a woman. You have sex with a woman, she's not just some broad you knocked off or some woman you took to Pound Town. That is your wife. That is a woman that is a part of you now. And you should expect to grow and progress and move forward in your life with this woman in the mindset that she's a part of me now. Everybody understand? And if that is the case, then guess what? You and that woman will cling to one another, cleave to one another. You will be inseparable. There will be nothing that can break you up or nothing that can separate you or nothing that can come in between the love you have for one another. Why? Nothing can come between me and my arm. Nothing can separate me from my leg. That is how your woman is supposed to be viewed. And if you view your woman that way, you would treat her with decency. She would treat you with decency. Regardless of what you decide to do and what way you decide to go in your life, you will always take her into consideration. That it doesn't cost a thing to be decent. It doesn't cost a thing to just say, I know it'd be hard sometimes. I know she be going through it, man. Let me make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Let me make sure that sometimes I can go out my way to make sure she knows how much she's appreciated and she knows how much she's loved. It don't cost you nothing, brother. And if it do cost you something, so what is a night at the Cheesecake Factory? You do that for a bitch you're interviewing for a job. You can't do that for your wife. Isn't that it's when you're living in the real world, it's not as hard as the internet makes it to be.
Right.
The internet is a horrible place, and it is not a place that is conducive to people being decent towards one another. So when you encounter somebody on the internet that's not being decent, just let them just remember that the internet is not real. Even though there's real people on there. Hey, you might see me on there sometimes not being decent. Just know that it ain't real. Everybody understands? I'm an asshole on the internet on purpose because that's the place where I get to be an asshole. In real life, I'm a pretty nice guy. But on the internet, I'm Chief Sock G of Angry Black Man Media. And I say whatever the hell I want to say because it's the internet. I don't care. It's the internet. That place ain't real. You should treat everyone else the same way. I see a ton of things people post on the internet, and I don't even acknowledge it because it ain't real.
Right.
Everybody understands. And with that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, since 1969, we've been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2023, there's nothing more important than for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to learn the truth of who they are, where they come from, and what their purpose is on the earth. We had these classes here from 6 to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday. You brothers and sisters tuning in, you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas. Get them in contact with us here at the school. The address to the school is 3000 Walnut Grove Road. Again, 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215 in Midtown Memphis. Call the number for the school if you have counsel going through an issue or a problem or just need somebody to talk to is 901-249-0085. Again, 901-249-0085. Your brothers and sisters get in contact with the school. With that, see y'all for class tomorrow. Shalom.